The PICC currently has been incubated and absorbed by a new government initiative called Infrastructure South Africa. So I'm here as an ISA representative, and I'm the acting program manager for infrastructure delivery. So where ISA comes from, I think it stems from the slide of the first presenter where they presented the gross fixed capital formation, where the NDP said that for South Africa to achieve its target in terms of transforming the lives, ensuring that there's sufficient infrastructure for water, energy, rail, and roads, we need to achieve 30% of investment in terms of infrastructure. So when that was said, and also during the heat of COVID, government then identified infrastructure as a flying wheel towards economic recovery. And because of the challenges that are there, which already many of them have been outlined, the lack of technical capacity, the lack of packaged projects for project life cycle funding, there was an initiative to establish an entity that will be able to drive this. And that entity was then called ISA. So if I'm looking back in terms of the presentation that has been made today, the question will be, where does ISA play a role in terms of what has been outlined? So one takes into consideration the 30% and its implication. You know, there's already been reports around the underspend of municipalities and SOEs, the lack of technical skills. That all result in increasing backlog, and we're now even seeing it. We have not had cholera cases in the country for over a long period of time, but now they are sporadic and they are appearing everywhere. And there's also been other provinces where there have not been cases of cholera in terms of health hazard, but there has been contaminate of cholera bacteria or the virus in the water systems. So where we are sitting, we are looking to come with interventions on the three distinctions of infrastructure. From ISA's point of view, when you look at infrastructure in a national lens, there is the pipeline development of infrastructure. That's where I think there's also been emphasis that the engineering family needs to come into play, because that's where you are able to optimize, that's where you are able to prioritize, and that's where you are able to ensure value for money and also use your engineering optimization solutions. And then after that, there is a second leg, which that leg mainly is done by the National Treasury. It's funding, and then the third leg is then implementation. So from ISA, we are looking at infrastructure through those three stage gauges. And what we have been given the opportunities to do now is that we've been allocated 200 million every year by government to focus on project preparation, you know, so that we can have that investable project pipeline that will be looked at from a long-term view around infrastructure. You know, every time when people are saying we have funding, we have finance available to finance infrastructure, but there are no projects. So with the resources that we have, we are able to develop that credible project pipeline. And secondly, the other thing that we are doing as ISA, we are establishing capacity internally around the built environment. You know, if you go on the IDC website, you will see few employment opportunities there that are under the PICC, which is an arm of ISA for built environment. We're looking to recruit quantity surveyors, civil engineers, structural engineers, because we are also looking to work with under-resourced municipalities and provinces to ensure that we elevate the issues around maintenance, specifically focusing on water and sanitation, and also stormwater within the cities. Most of the elements that we have seen from the floods is not that there is no infrastructure within the cities, but there is lack of maintenance. If the stormwater is not maintained, then the cities, they easily flood up. We've seen that in Polokwane, we've seen that also in KZN. So we're looking to develop that capability within ISA so that we are able to support these municipalities and provinces. And lastly, we're also looking at leveraging our partnerships with external stakeholders, universities, institutions of learning, and also bodies such as SAICE JHB, because we also believe that, with things like climate change, as from the previous presentation, we need to be looking at infrastructure that is more resilient. We don't want infrastructure where we're investing billions of rands and they are all just washed up because of a storm or because of a flood. So we want to introduce innovative building methods into infrastructure which are a bit more resilient. And the other thing that we're looking at, it's also around optimizing cost for government. One thing that ISA has been doing currently is trying to optimize the frequently built assets. Every time a government department goes out for tendering for schools, which is something that government build on a monthly, on a yearly basis, they will still go out as if like there's no point of reference. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to develop standard designs so that when people are looking to build a clinic, are looking to build the schools, in terms of the threshold that they have, there'll always be designs, and that will be able to save or provide some form of value for government, and it will allow the allocations which are being made by Treasury to go further. So if you save around your design fees, you are able, instead of delivering maybe 100 schools at a national level, to deliver 120 or 130 schools, depending on the cost factor. So those are some of the interventions that we want to instill into the built environment space, and we are looking to partner with partners like SAICE in terms of getting them to the market and also having the market respond to them. Thank you very much.